Justice in your world, in your mind, yeah, Kadian likes you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brenda Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brenda Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. It's Friday night. Y'all know we talking Owns Ready to Love. So this is season 6. Some may say 7. Either way, we down in Miami. This is episode 5, I believe. It's barbecue time. First of all, before we get started, don't forget to click that like button, okay, if you're enjoying the video, you enjoyed the episode. Also, don't forget to share, comment, and then once you do hit the subscribe button, which I'm hoping you will, then drop your name and in the comments where you're from. Give me a shout out. I'll say hello back, and I appreciate all of your support. I just hit a major milestone with subscribers with this channel, so I'm really happy about that, and I'm blessed to have the subscribers I have thus far, and hope that you guys will just continue to enjoy my videos and continue to subscribe, and I really do appreciate it. So anyway, this episode, you know, it was just very negative. It was like, it went very left. I don't know where we went wrong. Like, it was just a hot mess. There was a lot going on. We're going to try to break it all down. Let's debate about it in the comments, because it definitely was some controversy happening tonight. So anyway, we left off on episode at the white party, right? The Miami white party, and where Nephew Tommy and his wife were letting the fellas know. Well, he had called LJ, Justice, and Alonzo. Remember, Justice is not there because he left early. So anyway, Nephew Tommy lets them know they have more time and they're not eliminated yet. Let Justice know that justice hasn't been served. So the guys are happy to be off the chopping block. Swayze was teasing LJ, talking about he's gonna get sent back to the island. Excuse me. And then Samson was asking Sharese, was she surprised by who was up for, for elimination? She wasn't. Okay, so anyway, then the next scene, we see Nephew Tommy sitting down to talk with Justice, Alonzo, and LJ. And this is the first time we really saw Nephew Tommy, or first time I can remember at least, seeing Nephew Tommy sit down and talk with the people who were on the chopping block and try to give them advice to see how they can do better and stay in the game of love here. So I just thought that was very interesting, especially it being the men, right? And those particular 3 men. So, because to me, Justice could have went. Like, we could have sent him home. He wasn't there. He left early. He didn't want to be there. He's too busy. He ain't trying to call nobody. He don't want to take nobody on dates. He could have been sent home that night. Like, why are we dragging this out? But nevertheless, it's, whatever. So then, he sits down, and LJ, so Nephew Tommy basically lets all the fellas know what the ladies been saying about them. I'm like, why are we doing this? This is stupid. So, I mean, I guess it's good for them to get the feedback. Anyway, so he lets LJ know, like, yeah, the ladies, they don't know if you're really genuine. They want you to go deeper. They just see you as, being real flirty, being the cute little island guy with a nice personality, and they want to see more from you. And LJ is like, he can't help it that he's like, the island guy, the nice island guy, and he wants to show the ladies more, go deeper, and all that. I can see that. Like, maybe that's the reason why I don't take him seriously, because of like him being the island guy, and not to be biased. He does seem like a nice guy, though. I think if I got to know him, I would probably take him more seriously. So anyway, then he told Justice. Justice was saying that, I think my issue is I'm trying to do my process in the show, and my process is different from everybody else's process, so I'm trying to figure out my process on this show. Nephew Tommy was letting Justice know that, we are in a different process. The process is a little faster, maybe different than what you're used to. And so it's not, typical of anybody's process, this show. However, you got to be open, it's going to be uncomfortable. You got to be willing to open up and do it differently, right? So anyway, Justice, and he was asking Justice about the whole thing with calling or texting, whatever Justice's issue was. He's like, you know, the ladies are saying that you're not calling him, or you don't want to give them your number because you don't want to text him, you want to call him. And he was saying that, did he say he don't want to text the ladies for whatever reasons because his process is different? And I'm just like, just as you talk in circles, you make no sense. Like, you want to be here looking for love, your process is different. Like, how do you expect anyone to get to know you if they're not able to communicate with you or get in contact with you? Like, it's not adding up. The math is not mathing. It makes no sense. He took Nephew Tommy's advice, and he said, you know what, you know, like, you're the guru, whatever, you got it, you know it, so I'm being quiet, I'm listening to you. And then he's like, then Nephew Tommy went to Alonzo in that fuchsia blazer. And he was like, what if I told you the ladies feel like you're just kind of being surface? You are not really opening up. You got a wall up. And he said he can, you know, respect that and accept that. And he said that in his confessionals that he has built a wall up, and he needs to figure out how to let that guard down and go deeper and really let the ladies get to know him. Alonzo disappointed me very much this episode. I'm going to say that. So, these three fellas were in the, but Nephew Tommy let these three fellas know that, hey, you three are still on the chopping block. So, one of you guys will still, two of them will be up for elimination, one will still be going home, basically. So, anyway, then we see everybody go, well, not everybody, but we see those three men, so Alonzo, Justice, LJ, take out some ladies to go-kart racing, kind of like their last chance to get together. So, I believe it was Sharese, Jamala, Kadian, and Tronika. They're the four women who go on a date. So anyway, they're doing go-kart racing, and Alonzo seems very, very competitive, right? Tronika's in cute in pants. I wanted them pants she had on. So anyway, Tronika's wrist is still hurt. Okay. And the go-kart racing did not help y'all. So, Alonzo's telling the ladies, like, oh, we're going to let you ladies post first and get a head start, to be gentlemen and to be fair. He's like, that way when I beat you, like, you're not going to be able to say nothing. So he's just really competitive, talking about trash, right? So they get on the track. I'm guessing LJ and Jamala didn't get on the track with them. I wasn't 100% sure. I think they were doing the next race or something, or maybe they did that race and did another race, because we saw them do a separate race. So anyway, so the ladies are racing, and everyone, you know how go-kart racing goes. So I like go-kart racing, but all that bumping into each other and crashing, I'm not here for that. So Alonzo bumped into Tronika really hard, and she was upset because it hurt her wrist even more. She said her wrist was hurt for like 2 to 3 minutes. She was like, oh, I can't do this no more. Like, she said Alonzo bumped into her really hard, and it hurt her wrist, and she felt like he did it on purpose, okay? So already that's like strike one for Alonzo. So I hope that he wouldn't have bumped into her on purpose. I don't think he did personally, but I don't know. So she stopped racing because of her wrist issues, right? Did she ever make it down to the doctor appointment and get the, well, she still got the thing on, so I guess she ain't made it to the doctor yet, or he said wear a couple more weeks, I don't know. Yeah, so Tronika gave up on the race, basically. And then everybody finished, and Alonzo was like, yeah, I'm won. He was in first place. And then Sharika was like, I was waiting for y'all. Like, what happened? She's like, no, you got second place. I got first place. Like, she's trying to make it like she won, but really, she just gave up on the race, right? So then Alonzo was talking a bunch of trash, and then they were eating after he over there eating, talking trash. Like, yeah, I beat y'all, da-da-da-da-da. Like, you didn't see me. And Jamala was, like, trying to, like, kind of defend the ladies, and they're all joking, have a good time. And he's trying to, like, he's clowning. He's like, yeah, I beat y'all. Y'all was da-da-da. Like, he's just going off to about how he beat them so badly. Like, it was a little overkill. And even LJ was like, you know, I get it. Like, Alonzo's really competitive. I can be competitive too, but you got to take it easy with the ladies. It just wasn't, like, a respectability. Like, a man can still beat you in a game, but he can, like, be nice about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to coddle you, but he doesn't have to overdo it. Alonzo was just doing a little bit much. Okay, so anyway, then Sharese was whispering to the girls, let's barbecue him, or we gonna barbecue him. So in my mind, I'm thinking she's talking about the racing thing, right? I'm not thinking about she's talking about we're gonna put him on the chopping block to get eliminated. She's saying let's barbecue him, we're gonna barbecue him. So then he didn't like that. So his confession, he was like, Sharese over there talking about we're gonna barbecue him and I don't like that. She trying not to let me be me and all this. So to me, I didn't get what he got. Like, even if she meant he's gonna be up for elimination, like his level of madness was not worth what she said, in my opinion. Okay, let me know what y'all think in the comments. We can tussle about it. Excuse me, but I didn't understand why that upset him. Like, I didn't understand why her barbecue comment upset him. I did not get that. Maybe I will when I watch somebody else's review. I didn't get it. So, anyway, then Kadian tells Justice, like, hey, like, come with me and Trinika, come to our private room, like, we gonna talk and whatever. And so Trinika's like, yeah, come on. And she likes Justice. Save Trinika, y'all. Hashtag save Trinika. So anyway, Justice like, oh, okay. So he goes back there with the ladies. And Sharese and Alonzo go to play pool and finish talking, right? Or can start a conversation that goes real left. Then we see LJ and Jamala go to do their race. So that's why I said they did a separate race. And LJ was like, I'm going to let you get a head start. And they were having a good time and having fun. So back at the table with Kadian and Trinika, because, you know, Kadian wanted Trinika and Justice. Kadian wanted Trinika there to be like a sounding board and a non-biased person, like she could mediate basically. And so Kadian was saying like, you know, oh no, first Justice brought it up. He was like, you know, what's up? Why you ladies, you know, you guys are trying to get rid of me? Like, what's going on? And Kadian was like, well, you're just really difficult. And she was like, I tried to call you, text you, you didn't text me back, and you didn't call me back. And Justice like, yes, I did. So then they're going over some, you know, debating on who called, who texted me, who back. I'm like, I'm so sick of this show doing that. Sick of it. And so then she was like, I have my, you know, she got the message right here on her phone. He was like, yeah, bring it out, bring it out. So she was reading the times and all that. Yeah, this time I called at 12 something and da-da-da-da-da. And then he was like, oh, well, you called and I probably didn't. And then I guess he called. It was confusing, y'all, first of all. And then he was like, oh, well, I probably didn't call you back because you was over there trying to ask me questions about stuff. And she was like, well, no, I thought I had like a reason to ask you, even though it was 12 something, because I know you and Jamala I'm thinking him and Jamala had that date is what she was talking about. And so then he was like, well, that's why I didn't want to talk to you, because you're calling me asking me about other people and all this stuff, and it's the first call. And she was like, it shouldn't matter and all this stuff. So they going back and forth, okay? They going back and forth. And so then she was basically explaining to Justice, like, you were being difficult, you were not trying to, you know, talk to me, you didn't want to call me back and all this stuff. And then he was getting frustrated with her. They weren't going anywhere. They were talking in circles. He was not cutting her off, not letting her talk. She was like, you need to let me talk. So then in his confessionals, he said that Kadian likes him. She's mean to him because she likes him. And if she was mean to him, then he wouldn't, that means she doesn't like him. So that's all it is that she likes him. Justice, in your world, in your mind, yeah, Kadian likes you. That's what you want to believe. Justice, run with it. Then later on, he also said that, you know, he was enjoying the group date, but he didn't enjoy having to deal with Kadian. So him and Kadian were basically going back and forth, and nothing was resolved. Kadian was like, y'all can change the subject at this point. Like, she's over it. They're done. So then Trinika, you know, tried to explain it. And she was like, basically the ladies feel that, you know, you are not being genuine and you are being, what was the word, shallow. She's like, I don't relate to this. Everything she's saying, I can't relate to this. But the ladies feel this way about you, but I can see how they feel that way. And I was like, Trinika's buying into the Kool-Aid of Justice, okay. So, Kadian was like, no, I'm not getting shallow from you. I'm getting that you're being difficult. Like, you're just being difficult. So then he was like, you want to hug? Come on, let's hug it out. Like, I don't want no problems with you. Let's hug it out. She's like, no, we're not going to hug. Like, on the issue with you. I'm not gonna hug you. And he's like, well, I'm not, we cool. She's like, we cool, it's fine, like, you good. And he's like, okay, well then, can I come over here and hug you? Like, can I get a hug then? She's like, no. She kept telling him, no, you're not gonna get a hug. And I was glad Kadian stood 10 toes down and that, like, no, you're not gonna get a hug, sir. You do not get a hug now. Like, ugh, Justice is gross to me. He's gross. Capital G gross. So anyway, and Trinika over there standing up for him. Ugh. Girl, you could do better. So then we's back. Okay, so let's get over here to Alonzo and Sharese, because this went all the way left, y'all. So then, right, I'm gonna lean in because we gotta talk about this. So Sharese is like, oh, how are you doing? Like, I know, like, basically, like, she know he on a chopper block, like, what you gonna do now? She's like, I thought you would have contacted me after the white party. And she said she had been, like, kind of trying to contact Zoe, and he hasn't been reaching back. So she said she's trying to genuinely get to know him. So he was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm just doing whatever. He was like, I was going to ask you that. Like, what are you going to be doing? She's like, well, I'm not the one up for elimination. Like, that's not on me. Like, what you about to do? And then he was like, no, like, the thing is, yeah, we have a lot in common, but I didn't get a genuine thing from you. Like, I don't feel like you really liking me like that. I feel like you playing. I feel like you being fake. So then she like, what? Like, fake? How dare you call me fake? And so then they went to commercial, right? But then when they came back, and they really got to fussing and fighting. So then she was like, there's nothing fake about me. Like, I could tell. She's like, you want me to tell you how you are? He was like, go ahead, it don't matter. Like, you been fake this whole time. Your whole thing been fake and phony. And I don't like what you doing. And he's like, you super fake. Like, I don't want you anyway. And she's like, well, I never wanted you. And he's like, that's what the point is right there. You over here trying to act like you like me. You don't. And he was just going off on her. And I'm not even sure why. Like, and he went from 0 to 100 real quick. And then she was like, you need to, like, watch how you talk to me. Like, you're raising your voice at me. And he's like, you can say I'm raising my voice at you. I don't care. Like, I'm going to talk to you how I want. She's like, you can talk to a dog in the street like that, but you're not going to talk to me like that. So then he's going off with the rah, rah, rah. She back arguing with him. It was just going left. And so then Katie and her, all the commotion and stuff. And then she was like, oh, that's my cue, because she was tired of Justice anyway. So she went to go see what was going on. So then she went to talk to Katie, and came in there and talking to her like, girl, what's happening? What's wrong? She was like, he over here calling me fake, and he's, yelling at me and all this stuff. So Sharese did put a little bit, like, 20 on 10, but he was doing too much. Okay. And then, so he came over there, his pool stick. Yeah, that's why I said you fake, you da-da-da. I don't care. That's what it is right there. See, you said you were not even interested in me. Like, and he was kind of pointing the stick at her, but he wasn't that close to her. But I get what she was saying. I feel like she made the scene a tad bit more dramatic than it was, but we weren't there. So I can't explain how she would feel. The TV might have probably edited some, dialed it back. I don't know. I do feel like Alonzo was in the wrong. Okay, yeah, we don't like Sharese. So things she does, some of her wording is off. Her attitude can be bad. But Alonzo was very, very, very out of pocket. And I don't know why he was so mad. Like, he was so mad. So then Kadian, so LJ consoles Sharese, and Sharese is crying. She's like, I can't believe he talked to me like that, and he had the pool stick in my face, and she's crying. LJ's trying to console her, like, hey, don't let that bother you. Don't be tripping. It's all good. And so then Kadian was trying to talk to Alonzo. She's like, what happened? And Alonzo wasn't trying to talk. Like, even when he was arguing with Sharese, he was like, no, it's your turn. Like, he was just trying to keep playing pool. He wasn't trying to have the conversation with her. So it was also very weird. Like, in my book, Alonzo is weird. So, and he's giving, like, this weird aggression. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't like it. I didn't like that. So then she's like, well, you're bigger. Kadian told Alonzo, you're bigger than that. Like, you got to do better than that. Like, I expect more from you. Like, it doesn't, he's like, well, I'm tired of her being this and that. And she's like, no, but there's a better way. He's like, I gotta keep it real. And she's like, right, but there's a better way to do it, and all this. And so he was really trying to hear it. And so then Sharese was in the hallway with Kadian and LJ. And then Alonzo walked through, and that was really weird. So then Katie and LJ go with Alonzo. And so Katie was trying to like work it out. So then she was mediating, solving the issue. So shout out to Courtney and Eddie's channel because they be calling her HR, and she was really being HR in this episode. So then what happened? So then LJ went to go talk to Alonzo, and he was like, man, like, calm down. Like, how can we fix this? And he was like, you need to talk to her. Like, Alonzo wasn't trying to hear nothing LJ was trying to say. LJ, I don't think knew how to help Alonzo that moment. I kind of felt bad for LJ because he was trying, but he didn't really know what to say. And so then Kadian was talking to Sharese. And then everybody went to like where Justice and Shanika was. And LJ said Alonzo left. He's like, yeah, he just stormed off. You know, I guess he's not coming back. And so Sharese was just kind of like hurt by the whole situation. I was just like, what the heck happened here? Like, what the heck happened here? So then the episode went from bad to worse, y'all. So then we see Shanika with the flower in her hair and that denim shirt go talk to Nephew Tommy. And she felt violated by Kadian telling her business. And she was talking to Nephew Tommy about it because she's feeling really uncomfortable about the whole situation. And she took away, I guess she felt like Kadian, you know, told her story and ruined her vulnerability and all this stuff. So anyway, Shakira, sorry, did I call her Shanika? Shakira went and talked to Nephew Tommy and told her, like, yeah, some of the things she shared in the ladies' lounge was told behind her back, in front of her face. Like, a few of the men that came up to her and told her, like, yeah, they heard about, you know, this and that she went through. And then Kadian brought it up when she was talking about another messy situation. And so she was explaining what happened at the Miami White party before they put the white on, about how Kadian and Mike and them was talking about the situation with Sharese and how she tried to walk away. And then Kadian made the comments that she made last week, right? And so it's sounding like Kadian might have brought up Shakira's situation in other instances that we have not seen yet, right? So Nephew Tommy was like, yeah, that's not right. Your story should be your story to tell. What happens in this lounge should stay in this lounge. And so she's, you know, just said that she was really hurt by that. And she already came on the show, you know, expecting that some people may not, you know, care for her due to her story, but she wouldn't expect it to be told like that and all this stuff. And she started crying, and Nephew Tommy gave her the night off, so she don't got to come back to the women's lounge and do deliberations. And he said, go take care of yourself. First of all, Shakira is a very sweet girl, very pretty girl. I like her. She has her own unique style with the flower and all that. I do, however, think that she is not ready for this process. It seems a bit overwhelming for her. She still seems to have some healing to do. She's very much, for me, sitting in that vulnerability of her situation. It still feels raw. Whatever she just went through with her ex-husband feels very, very raw and still kind of fresh and new. And it feels like maybe she threw herself in this situation too soon. This is gonna sound mean, but I don't mean it in a mean way. It's giving a little bit of a victim mentality, and I don't mean it in a negative way or mean way. I just mean that she's still in that point of her healing, right? Not that she is a victim or trying to be a victim. I just think that she is still in a healing process from her trauma, and she has not got to the, like, I beat this and I went through this and I could talk about it and talk about what I learned from it. Like, she's not there yet. And so I don't think her man is on the show. I think she needs to self-eliminate and continue to do her healing work. And I will wish her the best in that process. Wish her the best if she stays on the show also. Like I said, I'm not trying to say she's playing a victim. I just think she's still in that victim space, okay? Mentally and emotionally, right? So anyway, Nephew Tommy's gonna bring it up in the women's lounge later. So then, let's see, we see Samson invite Looney and Mike and Brandy on a date. He's like, you know, none of us are in the bottom, so, you know, it's gonna be a cool little date. They have a little picnic at the park. He told me it's like he rented out the park. I'm like, I guess Samson. So anyway, Samson had fruit and pineapples and watermelons and a football in the trunk. I said, I want some of that fruit, Samson. So anyway, then we see them, you know, about to have a picnic. We see Brandy and Mike pull up. We see the two couples sitting on the blanket, and Samson up there cutting up the pineapples, and Mike's feeding them the brandy, and Looney is wiping the sweat off of Samson's forehead and all that, and they're having a good time. But Mike and Brandy was acting like nobody else was there. They was kissing and all in each other's face, feeding each other fruit and stuff. And so Samson was like, invited Looney, like, let's go play frisbee, girl. And so they were like, yeah, let's get a little too sensual over there on the blanket. Looney was like, they was acting like nobody else was there. Looney is funny in the confessionals, by the way. She's so pretty. I love Looney. I hope they don't friend zone Looney, though. I could see her being friend zone the way the Mikula, whatever that girl was that got eliminated first. I could see her getting falling into that category, so I hope that doesn't happen for Looney. So anyway, not that she can't be funny and guys enjoy that, and I don't think she would fall in that category, but I don't know. It was giving very friend vibe with her and Samson on this date versus like the first time they met at the mixer, right, in the first episode. So anyway, her and Samson were talking. He was like, oh, let's take off the glasses. I want to see your eyes. And he's like, oh, look at that, how pretty, better than the sun. And he's like, yes, I saw your post on IG, you know, you went to the gym, you know, you be working out. He's like, I see you. She's like, yeah, I be trying. And he said that's his, like, coffee. He don't drink coffee. She said she don't either. And he's like, that's like my medicine. Like, I gotta do some kind of activity every day, like, gets me going, whether it's hiking, running, exercising, swimming. And then she was like, yeah, like, swimming's not for me, you know, the hair of it all. And she made a joke like that. But she got them braids, girl, that he could put them braids up and swim, but them braids is too long. I don't know, that's hard to put up in a ponytail in a bun situation. So, girl, you know I know. So, anyway, she's like, I can see how you be swimming though, because, you know, you're bald. So, anyway, he was commenting on her being funny and her being a comedian or stuff like that. So, they seemed to have a little vibe and all that, had a good conversation right there. Then they went back down to the blanket and hollered at Mike and Brandy. While Mike and Brandy were over there by themselves, Mike was like telling, you know, he said he got butterflies in his stomach. He really feel like Brandy is the one, and he's telling her how beautiful she is. He making her eat the grapes and lick them. We'll use her tongue and see which one she can reach. We see what you're trying to do, Mike. You trying to see what that mouth do. Mike trying to see what that mouth do when it comes to Brandy. So anywho, but look like it do something. So, you know, he was asking about her schedule because Brandy's a flight attendant. I don't know why I thought Sharese was the flight attendant, but she does something with facials and stuff. So I forgot Brandy was a flight attendant. So he was saying like, you know, I don't know how we gonna make this long distance relationship work. She's like, it's not long distance. I live here in town. I live here in Miami. I'm just gone for a few days and I come back. Like, I'm coming back. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to put a pillow in the bed and hug it. And she's like, yeah, I put my picture. And she was saying like her professional was like, she doesn't live long distance, and if he's requiring more time, then she can adjust her schedule and only be gone like one day or whatever it is. I'm like, you already worried about that, Mike? Like, it was just doing a bit much for me. Like, I didn't think we were at this point already, but maybe we are. I ain't mad at it, but I was just like, she ain't, like, he was getting too stressed and pressed about it. Like, he don't want her leaving. Like, it was giving, I want you to quit my job, your job for me, and I hope that's not what he was trying to give, but it's what it was giving me. Because it wasn't that serious to be worrying about that right now. But that's just my opinion. So then, let's see, we saw Trinika and LJ go on a date. And Trinika, you know, she said she'd been feeling LJ and she was happy to see him. And she asked about his daughter, and she's like, he said that his daughter has basically spoiled, like she hasn't wrapped around her finger, and she gets whatever she wants. And so Trinika was explaining that she is sorry for all the notifications, y'all, but I ordered some groceries, so that's what it's gonna be. So anyway, she's like, she's a daddy's girl, and you know, talking about her coming into blended families, and it's nice if somebody is willing to, you know, take care of your kid like it's their own, and which is a good point. You know, a lot of times we do have blended families, right? And so she was saying that her stepmom or bonus mom has been in her life since she was 1 year old, and her dad and her bonus mom have been together for 35 years, and it was just a beautiful family, blended family situation, which is a blessing. I like that story she told, and LJ was like, you know, really intrigued by that. And then they were talking about you know, they got to get home and his babysitter and all this stuff and talking about taking Shanika home. And they were just smiling and being flirty and all that. And that was a pretty good date. So then we get down to the women's lounge. I don't think we had any more dates. Hopefully I didn't miss none. If I did, drop it down in the comments for me, y'all. So then we get down to the ladies' lounge, like I said. And so Nephew Tommy's like, oh, it's good to see all you beautiful smiles, but we see that one is missing. Shakira is going through some things like emotionally, so she has something she got to take care of, so we gave her the night off. And he's like, but speaking of that, you know, whatever, he's like, I don't know if y'all was raised like I was raised, but whatever happens in the house stays in the house. Whatever happens in this lounge stays in the lounge. That phrase, whatever happens in the house stays in the house, I have mixed feelings about. Like, I get what Nephew Tommy is saying about it pertaining to that situation and how that is true. Some things that happen in our family stay in our family, but that's also can be a negative thing that we have in our Black families. That whole what happens in the house stays in the house thing, because it be trauma and abuse and all kind of bad negative things happening in the house that needs to be told to the proper people. But this whole what happens in the house stays in the house, so you're gonna get in trouble if you tell it mentality, I don't like. But I get what Nephew Tommy meant in this instance. So anyway, I just had to express that. So he was saying, like, you know, please, you know, whatever somebody tells in here, you guys need to keep it in here and all that. And so they had the cameras, production was so shady. They was panning the camera to Katie the whole time. Katie in her confession said she was kind of irritated by that because she feels like any story you tell, like we're on a dating show, like basically anything you tell, you need to be able to willing to back it up and ready to like talk about it and back it up if you sharing it out here. Anyway, I get what Kadian is saying, but still, Kadian, this was not your business to tell. Yeah, Shakira gonna tell whatever she tell, or she told y'all whatever she told y'all. Well, you haven't even heard Shakira's full story, but still, let Shakira tell the men. I get why Shakira is upset, because you're not giving her the chance to tell her story to the people she wants to tell her story to, right? So anyway, then, you know, Nephew Tommy asked them, you know, about their date, who they feeling. Let's see, Shanika talked about her date with LJ. Jamala said LJ was the real MVP. He really, like, you know, got her number. He be calling her. He be checking up on her. And he's really stepping up. And she's liking LJ. Shanika said she didn't have her eye on LJ as well. Shakira said she's still feeling Samson. Not Shakira, I'm sorry. Looney talked about her date with Samson. Shakira wasn't there. So, and how, you know, she's still getting to know him. It's a good vibe. They're pulling back the layers and all that good stuff. And so, and then she's talking about how Brandy and Mike was doing their thing on the blanket. Brandy talks about her time with Mike and how they, you know, forgot everybody else is there and they were having a good time. And then Kayla talks about her date with Randall before, and then, Nephew Tommy would be associated. He's like, oh, rah. Looking at Jamal. I was like, why is you being so shady? So then Kayla was talking about, oh, yeah, you know, we had our date before the white party, and she told they kissed and all this stuff. Now, I don't remember them showing a kiss on camera, but maybe they did. I don't know, or we didn't see it. I kind of believe they kissed, but maybe they did. So Jamala was like, girl, okay. So then Jamala was like, yeah, I had time with with my rah at the white party. And, you know, we just, you know, getting deeper. We just pulling back them layers, all that. I feel like Jamala was like trying to get back at Kayla. And Kayla was rolling her eyes. And she was just like, she was over it. I was like, oh, they finna battle it out for Randall. They finna battle it out for him. So then, Katie was talking about her time she spent with Swayze at the pool party, the white party. And Tommy was like, oh, it's really easy, huh? No effort, conversation. And she was like, yes. So then he was like, okay, out of the 3 gentlemen, who are you still not feeling? Katie and Kayla is like, it's a no for Justice. It's time for him to go. Jamala says she tried to go on a date with him, try to figure it out, but it's a no. She's just not working out. Okay. So everybody was pretty much saying Justice is not it. Justice is not it. Justice is not it. And he's not. Then Looney was like, Alonzo, like, he got to go. Alonzo got to go. And so then the women were like, yeah, Alonzo, you know, And so then Sharese was explaining what happened at the pool party. And so, when they were shooting pool, not the pool party, at the go-kart racing day, she was kind of telling Nephew Tommy a little bit of what was happening there. And how Alonzo was pointing the pool stick at her and yelling at her and all this stuff. So then Kadian goes on to try to explain what happened. And I don't know if she's trying to defend Alonzo, but Kadian, girl, I be trying to rock with you, but you be just doing too much. So then she was like, well, Sharese, if you remember, you had made the comment, we gonna barbecue you, or let's barbecue him. And that's what really set him off and all stuff. And then Sharice's like, it don't matter what I said to him. Like, he shouldn't have been doing that. And I agree. Like, it don't matter what Sharese said. She didn't say anything too off or crazy, in my opinion, that he needed to give all that energy he gave. So I'm going to disagree with Kadian on this one. So y'all can not like Sharese all you want, but I agree. Like, it wasn't worth all that energy he was giving. So anyway, Nephew Tommy was like, I'm the only one that's going to do the barbecue in here. He's like, sound like we got 2 men we need to take on dates and let them know. So Tranika takes Justice on a date, which she's happy to be the one. And then Brandy's supposed to be meeting up with Alonzo for a date. So Tranika lets Justice know, like, the ladies are feeling that you're not really stepping up to the plate, and they can't really connect with you and get through to you. And she's like, I don't feel that way. Like, that's why I'm happy to be on this date with you. She was like, I want you to, like, step it up. Like, you need to put effort in with the ladies and all this stuff. And so she lets him know that, you're still ready to love. And she was like, I hope we get, hope to see more of you, hope to get more dates with you, because I really have a spiritual connection with you. I'm like, really? She's like, I get you. I know a lot of people don't get you, but I understand your language. I understand how you are. I understand the way you talk. Like, I really relate to you. I really get you. This girl says she got a spiritual connection with Justice. No. Save Tranika, okay? So anyway, then at the other restaurant, Brandy, she didn't wait 30 minutes for Alonzo. He hasn't showed up. So Brandy was ready, like, to tell Alonzo about himself, because she already heard Sharese's side, but she wanted to hear his side. But I think so far, pretty much ladies are not having it with Alonzo and his behavior, right? Then, like, an hour or 45 minutes goes by. It's going to be an hour. Brandy's like, oh, yeah, he's not coming. So basically, Alonzo did cut a day. She left him a voicemail, and that was it. On that voicemail, she should have said he's not ready to love, because he's not. That's what I would have done. Or I would have sent him a text, okay? Saying, the ladies decided that you're not ready to love. Please do not reply to this message. But nah, Alonzo didn't show up. I don't know if he was trying to be like David and really get ahead of the devil. All the way ahead of the devil by not showing up. But anyway, Alonzo didn't show up, so he's gone. Yeah, just like I said, this episode was real crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all think of the episode. Drop it down in the comments. If y'all have a better clarity of what the controversy led to at the go-kart racing between Sharese and Alonzo, let me know. Let me know if y'all agree with Alonzo being up for elimination, with him going home. Like, let me know what y'all think. Looks like next week gonna be a hot mess as well. All the fussing and the fighting on Miami already. Lord have mercy. Anyway, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will definitely talk to y'all soon. Bye.